how do you feel that MTV has supported you in this and Kirk during this season, then season 4 Floribama Shore, to just kind of make sure that they are with you guys through what's going on in the country racially?
I'm very happy that there were conversations that were finally edited into the show, which I think a lot of reality shows did that, because 2020 was literally a historic, like, that's going to go down in history for a very long time. So I think that MTV finally making room for those conversations, and allowing them to be exposed to the world, and then also just I mean, they've taken a page and they've listened to a lot of the things that I've had to say. And so there's been oh my God, I wish I had their full names. Melissa and Charles, they're working. God, I really wish I could pull the information up, because they're very important people. They don't actually work with Viacom, but they work with Viacom to basically have sensitivity conversations. And those were very, very important. Everybody had to do it on set, the cast, producers, and basically the sensitivity conversations was just training us to look at each other as human beings. And it was basically presenting scenarios to non-Black people that work in production and that work behind the scenes, so that way they can see things from the perspective of others. And so reminding us to always be sensitive. They even had a conversation with me and how I had to be sensitive in really assessing things before I label somebody. Well, not label, because I don't think I label people racist, but I think before I bring out the racist word,
they was trying to make sure they put a censor on you before you decide.
Not necessarily a censor. It's making sure that we understand that right now in today's time, if I call somebody racist, I have the power for them to not make money anymore. So I need to make sure that where they're coming from is truly out of racism in their heart, and not just out of ignorance because they don't understand. You have to understand, we're in an area where folks really truly do not understand. They ain't never been around it before. And so that's why I say you got to educate somebody and give them the opportunity to correct themselves before you label them a racist, because some folks really don't know. Now, if you correct them and they still want to be on their ignorance, no, that's ignorance, that's bigotry, and that is racism.
That is.
But also being an ally, and just, if you really truly care to end it, you will stand up and you will say, you will stand up for all of your friends, your Asian friends, your Black friends, your Latin friends, everybody that is that's kind of that's on the other end of the system that doesn't benefit. You as an ally would stand up and you would say something in those moments where we don't always feel comfortable. And so I think that I think the MTV is really doing the work to make sure, especially on our show, and I will say this publicly, I as a Black woman is on one of the hardest shows on TV right now. I'm on a show that promotes white trash culture, and I have to live in it and deal with it and make jokes about it. You know what I'm saying? When I know that the originality of white trash culture was not for me. As a person that's from the South that knows Black Southern culture, but I have to be on a show like Floribama. That's difficult for me. I'm not on no Love and Hip Hop. I'm not on any of those shows. I'm on a show that directly promotes a culture that is against me.
So you feel like you were placed as a token?
Do I feel like I was placed as a token? Yeah, I feel that all the time. Yeah.
Because the way that the show is just narrated and portrayed, it is for white culture. You don't understand? It's not really anything but you and Kirk do bring a certain element to the show that makes it feel like Black people can watch, because I do watch ever so often, and I low-key just want to see what you and Kirk are doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's interesting to see, are they willing to open it up so that they can maybe start to bring in a little bit more of Black culture to the show?
I think that's something that is so much higher above me, because it depends on who watches the show. I can just tell from the people that follow me, Black people are not watching our show. And so I think that they're going with the majority of who watches our show.
Okay.
And so they're trying to cater to the people that watch our show. And I think that that's really what it is. I think they're just like, oh, well, this works, let's not mess it up. let's not add all of these Black Southern elements to it, because we all know the South is mainly Black culture. You know what I'm saying? I know that. But like, I don't think they want to add all of those elements into it, because at the end of the day, it's about promoting a new and more progressive South, which includes all people. So they want to have a well-rounded thing of it. But I think that, it's just kind of like where that's a higher up issue of looking at the numbers of who's really the demographic of who's really watching our show. And unfortunately, like, it's just not Black people watching our show. So I think that would be like kind of a risk for them to add more of these elements from Black culture into a show that Black people don't watch. You know what I'm saying?
Or if they added, Courtney's not there, if they added another Black girl to the show, that would make everything different, because
it could. And I'm pretty sure that that's something that they might be in conversation about. It's all up in the air. We're kind of like, as cast, we're in the dark, so I will never really know. If they were gonna add another Black chick, I will be the last to know.